no stranger to Black Authors Matter TV, and it's Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing. So
Okay, so while Julia is coming in, Mary Evans already gave the answer to the first
she got
question.
the first one. Claflin University is the name of the HBCU.
Hey, Julia.
Hi, Julia. Okay, Mary, you win the book, and it will be on its way to you. So, and whoever gets the next book, it is the name of an old literary organization. But Julia, welcome back to Black Authors Matter TV. I think you come on once a year or so, I think, seems like.
Julia, I'm gonna need you to unmute so we can hear you.
Unmute your mic so we can hear you. Uh-oh. We still can't hear you.
Oh, no, what happened? You can hear me now? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
Hold on. Now I miss you guys. That's why I'm coming on once a year. I got to do that. Okay. Once a year. No, I'm joking. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. So BK Royston will be in the house again this year at the National Black Book Festival. And also, Julia is going to be facilitating the publishers panel, which she did last year. We have 5 publishers who will be participating, including BK Royston. So those of you out there who want to hear directly from publishers, besides BK Royston, Amazon, well, it's now Kindle Rec Publishing, but it used to be Amazon KDP, but it's the same thing. They're going to be there. InterVarsity Press is the one other publisher. Black Odyssey Media, that's Entice's imprint that she recently launched, and she's got tons of authors. And what's the She Publishing LLC.
You can't forget She.
No. We've been so many places together this year, the last year. So yeah.
You have? Okay, great.
Yeah. So it's I see her across the aisle, and hey. Yeah, okay. So it's been good. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm super proud of both of you all. You all kind of seem like you all blossomed just as we launched the show. You may have been doing stuff before, but we didn't know about it, and it's like it just exploded since we did the show. Now we don't know if we had something to do with it. We're
just gonna take the credit that we had something to do with
it. Listen. Well, let me just say this, being a part of the National Black Book Festival and being on the page and all of that is how Dr. Vernette Nettles and I connected. And so therefore, I probably had 2 other authors in Alabama before I met her, 2 or 3. Now I probably have 12. So that was I can credit you all for kind of opening not kind of opening door, but opening that door, because based on me being on that website, she called me, and then kind of the rest is history. So we've been connected now at least for the last 4 years, heading into 5 years, because the first book I published for her was in 2019, and that was and then the COVID thing happened, and then we were all virtual, as they say. We was all in the house.
Yeah, we were.
But it has really been. For me, I've been doing this publishing now 15 and a half years. So February to be 16 years. So, it was next level. Now, I really enjoy seeing other people's books and meeting the other authors. And some of them I have been, just like sitting there in awe, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in the same room with them. I turn into a literary groupie at times. Some people do that to me, but I'm like, oh no, I'm nobody. Did you see? Did you hear? So I turned into a book groupie, and so I really enjoy it. I do have authors in the Houston area too, so it gives me an opportunity to meet and greet. So it just fulfills my kind of literary options and opportunities, and meeting new people and all of that good stuff. So
that's wonderful.
I highly encourage people to really bring your questions and bring your educational hat. I also ask you please to help promote. Don't just come like a diva. Make sure that it's a two-way street. Make sure
I
that the
tell people
in the
that
photo.
every week, Julia,
Yeah.
I say,
I know
y'all,
you do, love.
I say y'all go to these events that and just because the promoter is promoting the event, you feel like I can just ride on that wave and I don't have to tell people I'm
No,
coming.
it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I don't
like
care what event you're going to. I don't care how big it is
or how small
or
it
how
is.
small it is.
Or
But I
how
say how,
small it
yeah.
is.
I
Yeah.
like to say I don't care how big it is because it could be a huge event.
Right.
But if it's a huge event like National Black Book Festival, where there are going to be 50 or 60 other authors there,
No, 100.
everybody. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, it's probably
It's 100.
Okay, it's 100 authors there.
Yeah.
Now, Gwen is not promoting just one author at a time. She's promoting the event.
Yeah.
So how are people supposed to know that you are at the event if you're not telling people? She's promoting the event, but people will come to the event to support you if you tell them that you're coming.
Right.
So and they won't know they're not coming to see you unless you've invited people.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
That's the thing. They're coming to the overall event, or they're probably coming to see one of the featured authors.
Right.
Or names people know.
Right.
That's why we invite them to bring in the crowd.
Exactly.
As well as all the other amenities. I tell people all of the free stuff they can take advantage of that they would never be able to meet all these people and get all this information in one place. No. It just it's not possible.
But just think if 100 of us are all promoting at the same time, if all 100 are promoting, and then you're posting on your platform one, and then if one other person shared, just one person shared it, the multiplication of that. So, I know that a lot of authors are like, well, they feel like they paid $1 million, but you still got the venue, you still got, like, boo. And I do events all the time. So that's the reason why I have no problem saying it, because a lot of times it's very difficult. And I get highly frustrated when I say, okay, we're going to go live. And I had it on my Facebook cover for a month and I never saw it on their page until like an hour before. I'm like, well, people got lives. They got stuff they could be doing.
I tell people that all the time. You paid to be a part of the event. And you're not even going to share it to your Facebook page to let people know that you're coming. You don't have to go live. We're not telling you to send out a press release, even though it'd be cool if you did.
Yeah, and we're not too.
But if 100 authors all had 10 people each to come, that's 1,000 people.
Yes,
who would come to the event. If everybody actually promoted themselves when they come to these events, but then you come to the event and then you're mad and then you're sitting behind your table like
God,
this.
I tell you, I've seen it because I think this will be my fifth year.
I did all
the virtual at least 5 or 6 years because I've done it before. Even the 2019, it was the year before, so it's probably my 5th year. Right. So my thing is okay, so. No matter what, come with your questions. Because there's all kinds of classes, and we're going to be in the same room with you. So you can be watching your table at the same time or have a friend, especially if it's something you really, 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 really need. And then secondly, there are so many people. There are new authors who haven't been out there a long time. Then there's experienced authors. Baby, you getting thousands of dollars worth of training and education in a room with 100 authors, just looking at their banners, their table setups, their promotional materials,
their book covers,
their banners, their
and look at all the opportunities for content for your Instagram. I had so much content for about 2-3 weeks after National Black.
I always do my magazine, but this is the thing that I really want to encourage people to think about. My husband or somebody who's with me always goes and gets every author's business card or promotional materials. Okay. We could talk about promotional materials all day, but I'm not going to get on that soapbox tonight. But my thing is, I tell them I cannot buy your book, but I offer you the opportunity to be interviewed on my podcast or my platform. Do you know I interview probably less than 10 people. And it's free. And it is free. And I provide you a graphic. And it's on internet radio in 32 countries.
Yep.
They don't respond. They don't even call. They don't respond back. They don't do anything. They don't schedule. They don't reschedule. Even if we schedule, they don't show up. So I'm like, what's going on? What's really going on? What's really the issue? What's really going on?
People and Julia, I'm gonna digress for a second.
Uh-huh.
People ask me to buy their book now, and I tell them, I literally know thousands of authors, thousands. So I can't possibly buy everybody's book. It's
And I
just
tell
not
them
possible.
that up front. I do.
I can't.
I can't buy it. I can't.
I can't. And I don't want you to even give me your book, because I'm not going to have time to read it. And I'm not going to tell you I'm going to read it. I'm not going
Right.
to lie to you.
Mhm.
What I want you to do is sell your book to someone who wants to buy it.
Yes.
That's what I want you to keep it and do.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
But
see, I
people
think
have
part
an
of the, well, no, I was just gonna say, I think part of the problem is, and I understand it because I remember how it was when I first became an author. You know, you spend money to go somewhere, you spend money on the hotel, and then you're like, I have to sell these books. But when you get it in your mindset that your success only looks like selling all of your books, then you're missing out on so much, because you're missing out on networking opportunities. You're missing out. Amazon was there last year. You
Yeah.
could have gone
They've
up to
been there
Amazon
the
and
last 4
asked them
years.
questions.
Yes.
Yes.
They've been coming for
They'll
years.
be
and years
back
and years.
again.
That's it. You could ask them
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
I
then
mean,
you have free opportunities to get publicity. There's
Yes.
so much that you can do. But when you're only focused on selling your 10, 20, 30 books that you brought with you, or you overbought or you overordered books, so you brought 100 books because you
Right.
heard it was going to be a big event, and now you're mad because you didn't sell it as many of them as you wanted to, that becomes the problem, because you're too focused on only sales as the definition of success. And
Mhm.
success just takes so many different forms.
And it takes
Come back
time.
with-
It takes
yes.
time to be, especially if you're just now coming out. Because one of the beautiful things about the literary industry is that it is now, the door has opened and now the access is there. I mean, if we had just the big five to go on and we didn't have any of the self-publishing sites, which hint, hint, we'll be talking about on Friday at 1:00. But if we didn't have that access, if we didn't have Ingram Spark, we didn't have Drafted Digital, if we didn't have KDP, if we didn't have Lightning Source, if we didn't have those outlets, we would be, just be even rejections. Or I've seen people go to Kinko's and get them stapled or take their own documents and go and get them printed off site or whatever. You'd be doing everything yourself. So therefore, you got to understand the competition is stiff. There's a lot of people out there. So there's a lot of things. So you got to believe in your book if you don't believe in nothing else. You have to be the cheerleader, the advocate, the promo, the everything.
And don't let your off day be somebody's on day. You don't feel like you need to do all of that. You're not doing anything. You're not doing that. Gwen should have done it all for you. And then while somebody else promoted their behind off and told everybody they were coming to Houston, and they sold all their books, and they're selling books for the people who would have bought yours, but you didn't tell anybody.
Right.
And this is something that we do. We do so much free, and then we spend so much money on promoting. Because I think right now we have four ads running simultaneously on Facebook and Instagram. They have different focuses, but we have a video promo, and then we have the graphic. So we're constantly promoting. We're going to have a billboard this year near the church that directs people that'll have that. So this is our first year doing the billboard. We're excited about that. And we just do so much promotion, but a lot of people, they have one book and they think they're going to set the world on fire. That's just not the way any of it works. I am going to have my 15th book it is in the final stages of production right now.
Ooh.
At the festival, my sequel to my novel. So I had a mystery that came out 10 years ago, and I'm doing the sequel. So finally, and I'm excited about it. But I don't sell everything to everybody. And I haven't sold 1,000,000 copies, and I have almost 15, but I've sold a lot of books.
Yes, yes. And you know I've sold a lot because
Yeah,
I just put out 83.
right.
Published
And now
83.
I'm never gonna catch Julia. This is not enough time.
Well, 84, 85, and 86 are at the Illustrator. So, and
Yeah.
I pushed my project back.
I'm
but
never catching up with Julia either. I'm
No,
tired.
I'm not gonna catch it with you. But I when I wrote my first book, I never thought I would have a second and third book. I wrote
Yeah.
that
Oh, me
first
neither.
book.
Me
I
neither.
thought that
Me
was
neither.
it. And
Yeah.
so,
Me too.
now I'm in like 5 different genres with my books. Children,
Yeah.
teens.
And that, that is a key thing, that if you've ever thought about trying a different genre, you're not boxed in,
Right. Right.
Maybe in the traditional houses, they put you in categories, and
They
these
do.
are just the fiction, and these are just the mystery thrillers, and these are just the sci-fi people. But when
Right.
you're independent, or you're self-publishing, or you do a mixture of both, because I'm hearing that lately,
Mhm.
that people are everywhere. They got their own
Yeah.
literary services. They do a little bit of everything. Try something different. Try something different. Now, I can truthfully say the children's books is a hot spot.
They are hot.
That's a hot
They're
spot
hot.
right now.
They're
So
hot.
if you've ever thought about it, all that good stuff. So, try it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
something that's an area. It's been a dearth in that area for so long, and now there's a lot of material, and there's some really great material. Now there's some
Yeah.
that's not that good. I'm just saying like that. Not everything's going to be
Well,
an A.
some
No.
people, let's just be politically correct. They didn't really invest in the graphics. They didn't
Right.
really invest in the
Right.
invest
Or the
in
story or any of it. They just said,
Yes,
I'll put
but
out a
they,
children's book,
yeah.
and
But
they
the
just put some-
illustrations, they can get you a whole, as they say, my granddaddy used to say, a fur piece. They can
Yeah.
get you along, but if the graphics and the text is not, culturally sound and appealing, it's gonna be a hard sell, even though that is, to me, one of the hottest things going on right now in this space.
Yeah, with children's books, it's illustrations. If your
Yeah, it
illustrations
really,
aren't
really is.
great, they have to be on point.
Yes.
And you have to invest a little money. And really, there's a wide range of pricing in
Yes.
children's book illustrations. You can pay $200 and get some good illustrations. You can pay $5,000 and get some great ones, or you can pay $200 and get great ones. And
Yeah.
you can pay $5,000 and get something that looks like somebody else's. And some people, some illustrators, they have everybody has a style,
Mm-hmm.
and you start seeing books and you know who the illustrator is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's like, it's like
Yeah.
art, it's
Yeah.
like, I can name 3 or 4 of them right now
Yes.
that I know.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I see it.
you
The
know, you
biggest
can
part
pay a little
is-
bit or a lot. It just
Yeah.
I tell
but
people, don't
that's
think just because, and you guys are hitting the nail on the head actually, but don't think just because it's a children's book and it's not as much writing, it's a shorter book.
It still has to have a
It's going to
story.
be cheap. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
going to be
Still gotta-
cheaper to do a children's book, and it's because it's actually going to probably be a little more expensive because you have to pay that
The
graphic
illustrator.
designer. Yeah, that the
Mhm.
illustrator.
Yeah.
So,
And you still need to get it edited.
Yes,
Yeah.
it still
The
needs.
grammar
I don't
has to
care
be
if it's just a
right.
few words on the page. It still needs to be
grammar
edited.
To be right.
And
It
if somebody said something, it needs to be in dialogue format. It's like
Yes.
right
yes.
Yes.
Yes, and this is being quote. It's just
Yeah.
some small, it's the little things, but that's where some people are good at telling a story, but they're not good at the mechanics. And that's why you need an editor, or at least a copy editor, a proofer. You need somebody to look at your work and
Yeah, just go
correct
find your English teacher. Go find, I tell people all the time, okay, you can't pay an editor. There are retired teachers out there, English
Yeah.
teachers, who would
Yeah.
love to review and help you walk through the process. Now,
Right.
I am a writing coach. I can help you with that part, but it is a business for me. But if you have a relative or someone who's been a teacher, educator, some of them are retired and they would love to help you with that process so that it does make sense and so that it does sell, and so that it does cross into an academic area to connect with the academic, because that's one of the important things for wider audiences, is if your book connects with a wider audience academically, and we can connect it with an academic area, then it makes sense. Now, you know, a lot of children's books are for leisure, for fun reading, and for, you know, my own private reading, and that's good. But if you can connect it to an academic area, you know, even if it's socially, even if it's behaviorally, even if it's mental health, oh, it goes a lot longer, a long way. And then it has the possibility to really increase your sales. It really, really does.
And they have these, now they have these, a companion workbook that can go with a study guide.
Right.
It can go with your book.
Well, I try to put them in the back. I try to add prompts and questions, vocabulary, opportunities for doing more search, go online, find out, ask these questions. I try to do it for them, because as an educator, we have a certain length of time, a short piece of time. And if you have a few minutes having to think that up and all of that, along with your own curriculum and everything, that's just a lot to do. So if you can help the teacher, help the educator, now this is $1 million idea, but if you can help the educator in some way, I'm serious.
No, and I've heard that before, so I believe it.
Yeah, in the back of the book already, not just about the author, but extended past that. Oh, it goes a long, long, long way.
That makes sense.
That
makes sense.
All of that. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's some food for thought for my next children's book, which I'm planning to do in 2024. So,
come on,
at least one, maybe two, but
let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll do a children's book. It might be a while, but I'm gonna do one.
Well, you know, we have to right now, it's like anything else. And, you know, Dr. Nettles' book is representation matters. And our children want to see themselves. And I'm gonna tell you, and I know a lot of people, you know, they do children's books with animals, and that's a wonderful thing. But if you're selling to specifically a Black audience, they really want to see themselves. They want to see Afro puffs. They want to see braids. They want to see the lighter hue. They want to see the darker hue. They want to see all of that in the book. And so even the few books that I have with animals, characters that I just test out and try out, I normally don't sell a lot of them. Now, if I'm in a mixed audience or a mixed crowd, oh yeah, you know, the other ethnicities will buy into it. But as far as if it's an African American event specifically targeted for us, we want to see ourselves. So that's a hint for some children's author out there too. Oh, I'll just put bears. I'll just put giraffes. So I'll just put you know, cows or pigs, whatever. And that's cute for a little bit. But that the broader audience for us specifically, it's not gonna do as well as actually them seeing themselves on there. Yeah.
Okay. Now we only have a few minutes left, so show us Vernette's book and tell us what her book is about.
Okay, so Beautiful Just Like Me, really, we were talking about hues and different shades of people. So Beautiful Just Like Me is a little girl who's bullied just because of the way she looks and her hair. And so therefore, her mother points out that her aunts and her grandmother are all different hues and all different shades, but they're all professionals. They all have jobs. They've all been accomplished in the arts and the sciences. And so that you can do it too. I have clearly seen, because we did a writer session at a elementary school together. And the little girl said, you know, she looks like me, and she was brown like her. And so that's the reason why that reputation really matters. As a matter of fact, the little girl she liked the book so much, we weren't selling the books there. We were just talking about writing, etc. She had the book in her backpack. And so she pulled it out. She said, look, Dr. Nana, I have the book. I keep it with me at all times. And of course, when she held it up to her face, she was brown like the child. And I said, you're one of the main reasons why I tell authors you need to have different color skin for different children. Now, what I'm working on now, besides Beautiful Just Like Me, you can get it at VernetteCnettles.com. That's her website. But who I'm working on next is I have a book that's coming out. That's the 84 and 85. That is really focuses on the biracial children. I had a grandmother come to me, and she's like, I love the Black children, I really do. But do you have anything specifically for biracial children? I told her, give me a minute and let me get it to my illustrator and let me get through that, because she said her grandson was like 4 or 5 years old, and the other children in the school were calling him clear because he wasn't Black and he wasn't white. He was clear. I said, but he's not clear. What does that mean? Clear? Oh, that's so
Can be cruel
terrible.
sometimes. I mean,
Oh my gosh. I said
I've
clear.
heard that term before.
I mean, you know, he can tan, he's beautiful brown. He's just, you know, he just has a, you know, a Black mom and a white dad, or a white dad and a Black mom. I mean, it doesn't matter. But they want representation too, because they don't feel like I'm not brown enough for here, but I'm not white. And where do I fit, and where am I at? So that's what I'm working on too. So if you thought about that, that's my third idea for you tonight, if you're an author and you're considering doing that, because 11.5% of the children's books have a Black main character, but in the ethnicities, the diverse groups, we're the highest. So everything, Native American, Asian, the special needs babies, sensory, and biracial, they're all underneath there. So if we're 11 and a half, then where is the rest of them going to fall? And 26 are animals, and then 55, of course, are Caucasian or white. So therefore, you know, we got a long way to go. But when I first started 15 years ago, we were at 7. So now we moved up 4 or 5 points. And if they really included a lot of the self-published, we probably be about 15 to 20. But, you know, it's just all depends on who's doing the calculating and who's doing the surveying, you know.
That's true.
That's
true for everything.
It is. But I'll take that number and run on it, because I'm really striving to be on my soapbox to really encourage other people to write. And I know we're out of time, but I look forward to seeing you all in Houston. And
I can't believe Houston is right around the corner already.
Right around. You can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Goodness, I'm not ready.
My cruise, and I've been nonstop ever since. I got some rest on there, but I'm not gonna have any rest.
Oh yeah, I did a cruise too with the radio station. I was asleep. They were like, "You were staying in your room, sleep, baby." Them waves and the movement of that boat just lulled me on like to sleep, like you would in your mama's arms.
All right, Miss Julia. We're gonna see you next month. Thank you so much for coming on, dropping your jewels like you always do.
I try to, you know, I'm not gonna hide nothing. I'm gonna let y'all have it so we can all win. Yeah,
you're right. We all win. Okay, we'll see you in October 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Yes, love.
Thank you. Bye-bye.